His program is called Pathways to Financial Freedom, and it's designed to help you become teenage business moguls. Please join me in welcoming a familiar face, Lance Clay Smiles.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this deal for having me coming today. I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. And thank you guys for doing the preparation work, right? You guys did a vocabulary sheet, right? And also you guys did that prerequisite worksheet, so that's great. And you guys have accountability partners, right? You know, can you turn to your accountability partners and just give them a high five? Give them a high five. Yeah, there you go, there you go. Accountability partner. You know, because when you're doing, we're going to be talking about, you know, taking like some specific actions on building financial wealth. Because all of this is about helping you to build financial freedom. What is financial freedom? Somebody. What do you think about? Yep.
Being rich.
Okay, being rich. Okay, okay, go ahead.
When you make more money than you need.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, now, very, very good, very good. So in particular, here's what financial freedom is. When your passive income exceeds your cost of living. Because when your passive income exceeds your cost of living, then you are at a point where you don't have to work, you get to work. You can do work that you want to do, not work that you have to do when you have achieved financial freedom, all right? Now, I said something, I said when your passive income exceeds your cost of living, right? What is passive income and how is that different from active income? Anybody? How is active income different than passive income? Yep. Passive income?
Yeah.
Passive income is where, oh, go ahead.
Isn't that when you're not doing anything, it's something you do?
Right. So here's the active income is when you're trading your time for money, right? Like you're putting in hours and they're giving you money. You're trading your time for money. Passive income is when you invest in assets that make money for you. So what's a good example of active income where you're trading your time for money? What is active income? Active, yeah. What's the difference? What's a good an example of active income? Because stocks and real estate and like high yield savings accounts, that is passive income, right? What's an example of active income? Right. Working a job, right? You know what I'm saying? Where they're paying you by the hour, right? Which all of us have to start with active income. But as we're making active income, it's important for us to take a portion of that active income and invest it so that we build passive income, money, you know, assets that make money for us, right? And so now, what's the best type of active income? What's the best type of active income? What's the best way to make money? The best way to make active income is when doing something that you love, right? Because if you're doing something that you love, it doesn't feel like work, right? How many of you, I know a lot of you are kind of still in the phase of kind of discovering what you want to do for a living, what you want to do, you know, who you want to, you know, what type of career you want to get into, right? You're probably starting to think now about, you know, what you might want to major in college or in a trade school or whatever, right? Any of you have an idea already of a career that you think you will truly love? A career that you think will be truly fulfilling to you? Anybody? What's the thing? Yep. Sell cars and what? Houses. Okay, so you want to be in real estate as well as you want to get into like the car industry. Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. And it's something that is like personally fulfilling. It's not just about the money, right? It's something that you really want to do, right? So that's awesome. That's awesome. And so here, we're going to talk about passive income, but first I want to talk about active income. And I mean, two things I want to talk about. I want to talk about part-time jobs. I want to talk about side hustles, like having your own business on the side, right? First, let's talk about the side hustle thing. The best type of side hustle, right, which is also the best type of way to make active income, is when you are doing something you really love. And so as a high school student, you can take pretty much any type of hobby that you really, really enjoy, and you can turn it into a business, all right? Real quick, I'm gonna give you just like 30 seconds. When I say go, I want you to talk to your accountability partner, right? The people that are sitting next to you, your accountability partners, and I want you to discuss with them what are hobbies that you can turn into a business. Ready? Go.
Training new
Okay, time. Now, real quick, we're gonna go around the room and we'll have volunteers share with us. All right, what are some hobbies that you like to turn into a business? Okay, why don't we start right here? Hobbies you like to turn into a business? Jewelry making, painting. No. Crochet. Awesome.
Johnny came up with an idea that we should start.
Knitting. Okay, knitting. Okay. Anybody else here? Okay. Wait. Let's go back here. Right here. Tutoring. Awesome. Favorite airplanes.
Coaching baseball.
Coaching baseball.
Coaching tennis.
Coaching tennis.
Creating video games.
Sewing art.
Coaching sport, coaching volleyball.
Oh,
Coaching. Anything?
Art.
Art? Anything? No. Okay. Painting. No. Okay, wait a minute. Did we go? We got you guys already. Okay, wait. Right here. Baking. Selling stuff. Cooking. Coaching. Selling shirts. Okay. Did we get you guys already? We got you. Where are we? Right here. Coaching softball. Graphic design. Cooking. Art. Coaching. You got anything? Okay, we got you guys? Okay, yeah, good. Okay, good. Yeah, so this is great. I mean, think about it. Now, here's the thing. A lot of the ones that you mentioned, I'm going to give you a specific way that you can start immediately. To those of you that mentioned any type of tutoring or coaching, there's a website called Wisant.com. And it's a website that is basically designed for people who have any type of expertise in something, whether like teaching a musical instrument, teaching a subject in school. Like for example, if you guys are in high school, if any of you are good at math and want to tutor like middle school students in math or even other high school students in math, there's this website that you can actually start a tutoring business. It's called Wisant.com. On your notes piece of paper, please write down this website, www.wisant.com. It's spelled WYZANT. WYZANT. Wisant.com. And like I said, if you have any type of expertise, anything that you can tutor in, you can go on this website, create a profile, and pretty much advertise your tutoring business. Now, what are some other ways in which you can advertise a tutoring business? Flyers, okay. What else? Social media, yes, it's a very powerful tool. Creating a Facebook or Instagram page that's advertising, that you tutor in a certain subject, so that's awesome. Yeah, advertising. Oh, even like paying for ads, even, and advertising online. Yeah, and then what's another thing is just word of mouth, right? Just telling people, that you're available to tutor. So have any of you ever thought about tutoring like a subject in school, like tutoring math or writing or anything? Yeah. Okay. That's a very powerful. What about dog walking? Anybody ever got into that? There's another student I remember mentioned like dog walking. I mean, there's so many opportunities. So anyway, so you want to have a side hustle. You want to have time. You want to turn your hobbies into side hustles. Now, also too, another really cool thing is having a good part-time job. As long as it doesn't interfere with your studies. All right, you want to make sure you prioritize your studies. But a lot of times having a part-time job actually. A lot of times, there's studies that have shown that teenagers with a part-time job actually end up doing better in school because when you have a part-time job and you're busy, it's forcing you to have good time management skills. And you know, the studies have shown that having a part-time job actually helps you with your studies. So, how many of you have a part-time job right now? You have a part-time job that you're working. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So, real quick, give me some examples of some part-time jobs that you're currently working right now. You know, what are you doing?
I'm a
Cashier.
cashier.
Okay, excellent, excellent. How about you right here? Part-time job?
Huh?
What type of part-time job are you working?
I work at Jersey Mike.
Okay, awesome, awesome. What else? Who else? Part-time jobs? Yep.
I coach tennis.
Coach tennis, excellent. Who else? Right here.
I coach gymnastics.
Coach gymnastics. Yeah, excellent, excellent. Who else? Some part-time jobs? Yep. Where? Mechanic shop. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yep. Contracting. Excellent. Excellent. What industry? What industry? You mean like construction? Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Who else? Who else? Part-time jobs. That was it? Okay. All right. So very good, very good. Now, here's one thing. So we talked about side hustles. We talked about part-time jobs and everything. Now I want to shift and really focus on this. As you are earning an income, how to manage that income, how to handle that income, how to build wealth, right? So I'm gonna take you through. I want to take you through this. Here it is. Let's see. Okay, now, here's the thing. I want to share with you, I'm going to give you a detailed plan, okay, on how to handle the money wisely, okay? Number one is this. Well, okay, here, let me focus on this because of time. All right, here it is. All right, number one is this. Basically, there's three things I want you guys to focus on. Number one is giving, number two is saving, and number three is investing. All right? Giving, saving, and investing. Now, first, giving. Why is giving important? Why is it important to, as you're earning income, to give a portion away to, things that you believe in? Why is it important to be generous with your income and to give a portion away to help people? Like, what does it do for you? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the benefit of giving? Anybody? The tax benefit. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's a tax benefit. Yeah. What else? What's another benefit of giving? Makes you feel good. Right. It can when you give with a sincere heart of gratitude, it really increases your level of gratitude, and everything, right? Makes you feel good. Builds healthy relationships and everything, right? Healthy self-concept when you're able to give, right? It shows you how blessed you are, right? Just the fact that you're in a position to give to somebody else, it really boosts your self-image even, So yeah, that's awesome. All right, so giving is one thing. Now, number two is this, saving. Now, it's very important to prioritize saving because every person needs to have an emergency fund, a rainy day fund, right? An emergency fund of at least 6 months of your living expenses. Why is it important to have an emergency fund of at least 6 months of your living expenses? Why is that important? Yep.
It's just in case something bad happens.
Yeah.
You don't have
Absolutely. You have the emergency fund to help you out, if in case some negative, unforeseen stuff happens. What are some examples of some unexpected expenses that can pop up in your life? What are some examples? Yep. Yeah, house problem, house issues, right? Flooding or whatever, house issues. Yep. Huh? Your car breaks down. Yes. What else? You lose your job. Yes. So many things can happen. Even medical expenses too, right? All that. So you want to be prepared for rainy days. You want to be prepared to handle unforeseen financial stuff. Yep. Yes, you can hurt yourself, accidents. Yeah, so much. True. Yeah. And so you want to be prepared, right? You want to be prepared. Now, where's the best place to put your emergency fund? Okay, a bank account, but what type of bank account is the best bank account, right? You guys looked at it at your high yield savings account. High yield savings. Why is a high yield savings account better than a regular savings account?
You get money.
Right, because it's a higher interest rate, right? Yeah, higher interest rate. So you want to put your emergency fund money into a high yield savings account, right? What are some of the banks that offer high yield savings accounts?
Number 4 on your sheet, guys.
Capital One, yes. That's one of my personal favorite banks, Capital One Bank, yes. What else? And how much is Capital One paying in currently in high yield savings accounts? You researched it? Was that? Yes, 4.25, right. 4.25% annual interest, yes. Capital One Bank. PNC Bank has a high yield too? Okay, how much are they paying in interest?
4.45.
Okay, awesome. PNC, so you got Capital One, PNC, yes. So that's awesome. Okay, so now, here it is. So you want to save up an emergency fund, right? Save emergency fund. So here's the thing, I'm gonna give you a rule of thumb, right? Like, as you get into income, like for example, those of you that have like a part-time job, right? You get your paycheck, right? What have you been doing with your paycheck? When you're getting your paycheck?
I say 50%.
You save 50%, that's awesome. Okay, so here's the thing, and so the other 50% you kind of like spend on whatever you want to spend on, right? That's very good. So here's the thing, here's what I want to encourage you to do. I want to encourage you to develop a habit early in your life regarding how you handle money that comes into you. I guarantee you, if you can develop this habit early in your life, I guarantee you'll become a millionaire. You'll become a millionaire. All right, if you can handle money wisely, because really, it's not so much about how much money you make; it's how much money you keep. Right? It's how you handle the money that you make. Right? And so here's just a rule of thumb. I want you to write this down on your notes piece of paper. Okay? As income comes in, I want you to put 20% into a high yield savings account. 20% as income, as you get that paycheck, put 20% into a high yield savings account. And that high yield savings account is where you're building your emergency fund, right? All right. And then I want you to put 30% into a Roth IRA stock index fund. And you guys are researching Roth IRA stock index funds in your prerequisite sheet. All right, so just recap. We said 20% into a high yield savings account, and then the next 30% into a Roth IRA stock index fund, and then the remaining 50% is for you to do whatever you want to do with it. All right, like pay your cell phone bill if you have to pay your cell phone bill, or whatever you want to do with it. But if you just have a habit of always putting away, 20% into that high yield savings account and 30% into your Roth IRA stock index fund, if you can just maintain that habit through your life, I almost guarantee, I mean, there's no true guarantees, but I'm pretty sure you will become a millionaire. All right? I'm going to show you something. Let me show you this example. Show you this example of why it's so important to start early, to start investing, okay? So here's the thing. We talk Roth IRA stock index funds, right? We're going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. But basically, as you guys were researching on your prerequisite sheet, right? And when you were looking up the interest rate, the historical interest rate, you probably saw that the interest rate, the average return is around 10%. Now it goes up and down, right? Like if you look at the chart, you'll see that some years might be negative, some years might be a little bit, but some years are more. But when you average it out, if you look at the average return, or like when I say over like at least 10 years, right? 10, 20 years, it always goes up, and the average is always around 10% annual interest, okay? So we're going to use 10% as our interest rate, annual interest rate. Now, if you start at the age of 16 and you just invest $100 a month into a Roth IRA stock index fund, like one that tracks the S&P 500, like a Fidelity or a Vanguard, whatever, Charles Schwab, right? Something that tracks the S&P 500, which is like the top 500 corporations, right? An index fund. So you invest $100 a month, right? By the time you reach 65, you'll have over $1.5 million. All right, because of the power of compound interest and everything. This is just you investing $100 a month. Now, if you wait until you're 26 and get started by investing $100 a month, that number goes to around $571,000, almost $1 million less just by waiting 10 years. So this example kind of just shows you why it's so important to start early, because the earlier you start to invest, the more you can take advantage of the power of compound interest. Now, I'm going to take you through an example so you really understand what compound interest is, okay? For this example, you need a calculator. Everybody, please take out your calculator. It could be a calculator on your phone. Take out the calculator, and with your accountability partner, we're going to go through an example of compound interest. Okay. Now, to keep the numbers really simple, we're going to use an initial balance of $10,000. All right? So, on your notes piece of paper, I'd like for you to write down $10,000, maybe $10,000, and we're going to use the interest rate, average interest rate of 10%. So, $10,000 at 10%. Now, I want you to write down year one. Year one, let's go through the calculation of how much interest we would earn if it earned 10% interest in year one. All right, so to calculate that, you put into your calculator 10,000 times 0.1, so that's 10%. And what do you get? $1,000. So you earned interest of $1,000 the first year, right? Now what happens to that interest you earned the first year? It gets reinvested into your account. So therefore, going into year two, how much money do you have in your account? $11,000, okay? So therefore, in year two, how much interest do you earn? If it's 10%. $1,100 in year two. And what happens to that amount? It gets reinvested into your account. So therefore, going into year three, how much money do you have going into year three? $12,100 going into year three, yes. And then how much interest do you earn in year three? So as a recap, to calculate that, you put the 12,100 times 0.1. Yes, 1,210. So now, and then if we keep doing this, you will continue to see that for each year, the amount of interest you earn is more than the previous interest that you earned the previous year. And it keeps getting reinvested. Why is it growing? Why does it keep growing? Like why is it that the amount of interest you earn each year is always more than the previous year? Because of the power of compound interest. Do you see what's happening? Every year you're making interest on the original 10,000 plus you're making interest on the accumulated interest so far, right? So you're making interest not only on the initial balance, but you're making interest on the interest that you're earning. So you're making interest on top of interest as well. And that's called compounding interest. And so, like, if we were to continue doing that, working the numbers, we would see that within 8 years, in just 8 years, the account balance grows from $10,000 to $21,435.88. It more than doubles in 8 years. So do you see why starting early, starting at the age of 15, 16, 17, 18 years old is more important, is very important than starting when you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s, right? The most valuable asset that you guys have is time. And so just by investing a small amount of money, you're working a part-time job or you're working a little side hustle, doing, you know, dog walking or babysitting or you know, any type of stuff. But if you could just invest a little money starting now, in the long run, that the power of compound interest is going to really like just explode, and you're gonna watch the money grow. And keep in mind, all of this money is passive income. Passive income. It's money that you're not even having to work for. It's money that's making money for you, right? So now here's the thing. Here's what I want to do. All right. Now, let's get more specific though, right? Let's talk about how, like we talked about here. Okay. So now, we're talking about stock index funds, right? Now, why is it that index funds are safer than single stocks? Like, why not just invest in single stocks? Why is it safer than index funds? Yeah.
It's risky to invest in one business.
Exactly right? A stock represents one single company, and the price of the stock is dependent on the performance of that one single company. That's super risky, because a company could just go bankrupt. Like, you guys are too young to remember this, but back when I was in high school, there was a video store called Blockbuster. Have you heard of Blockbuster? Okay, that was very popular in the 90s, right? But it completely went out of business, right? Because it didn't keep up with the changing trends, you know, when like Netflix came in and all that. So it's risky to invest in just one stock. But, so here's the thing, a stock mutual fund represents a collection of multiple companies, and so the price of the stock mutual fund is not dependent on one company. So when you guys are researching a thing about index funds, so an index fund is where, so here's the thing, here's the index fund. Index funds simply invest in a specific list of stocks that pertain to a specific market index, and therefore they're not actively managed by an investment manager. All right, and so basically an index, for example, one of the popular indexes is the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is an index of all of the 500 of the top United States corporations in the United States. All right, so can you imagine? That's very safe to invest in an index fund that tracks the S&P 500. You're investing in a portfolio of stocks that represent 500 of the top United States corporations. And so that's safe. And you look at the history of the S&P 500, it always goes up. Even though there are dips in the short term. But we're not investing in the short term, we're investing in the long term, right? And so therefore, when you look at any like 20-year period of the S&P 500, you'll see that it always goes up, right? And the interest rate, the return, the annual return, the average return is always around 10%. So investing in an index fund is a safe way to invest in the stock market, right? Now, how can you invest in the stock market? Like, how can you invest in an index fund? Well, because you're under 18, you have to get a custodian. A custodian meaning anyone over the age of 18. It could be one of your parents, or it could be another family member, like an uncle, an aunt, an older sibling. It could even be just a friend that you trust. Anyone under the age of 18, you have to get them, because you guys are under the age of 18, you have to get them to open up the account with you. But here's the thing, once you turn 18, the account automatically becomes yours solely, right? It's yours even now, but once you become 18, you become the sole owner of the account, right? So it's called a custodian account. You want to open up a custodian account, right? But it's so important to start early to invest. Now, here's the thing. So, questions. What questions do you have? Any questions about any of this? About investing, high yield savings accounts, you know, index funds, right? All right, here's what we want to do. When I say go, I want you to work with your accountability partner, right? Talk to the people around you, and I want you guys to answer this question. What specific high yield savings account will you open? What specific high yield savings account will you open? What's the bank name? You know, ready, go.
The Chase
Okay, time. All right, now let's go around. So this group right here, what's the bank account that you're opening? Or if there's more than one, you can say more than one. But what's the high yield savings account? Capital One, high yield savings. Okay, Capital One, right here. Which one? Which bank account? Savings account. Capital One, high yield savings. Okay, awesome. Right here. PNC.
Enterprise.
Enterprise? And so Enterprise has a high yield savings account?
It's 4.17%.
Okay, excellent. Is it an online bank? Okay, got you. Right here. Capital One, okay. Right here. Capital One. Bank of America? You sure Bank of America has a high yield savings account? Oh, you gotta look into that. I don't know if they do. You know, you gotta look into that. Which one? Capital One. Capital One. PNC. Yeah. PNC. This group. Capital One. Capital One. Yeah. Capital One. Okay, awesome. Capital One's a good choice, you know, because there's so many branches around here. And by the way, when you go into the bank, talk to them. You know how like you got bank tellers, but also you got people that are sitting at the desk, you know, or maybe like offices, depending on the branch. Talk to them. Here's the number one rule. I want you to write this down. Number one rule, all right, in finances is this. Never invest in anything that you don't understand. All right? Never invest in anything that you don't completely understand. So when you go into the bank even, make sure you're asking questions. Make sure you fully understand what's going on. You know? Now, with high yield savings accounts, there's absolutely no fees involved, right? But always double check. Make sure that there's no fees. Make sure, you know, make sure you understand what's going on. Okay, now, next activity is this. When I say go, I want you to work with your accountability partner and answer this question. What specific Roth IRA stock index fund will you open? What specific Roth IRA stock index fund will you open?
It's not the same.
Okay, time. Now, we only have a few more minutes left. So now, everybody, please take out your feedback piece of paper, your feedback. You had notes and you had feedback. Everybody take out your feedback now. This is the sheet that you're going to be passing in, right? The feedback sheet that you're passing in. I have 3 questions I want to ask you. 3 questions. Here they are. Number 1, what is your favorite quote or favorite concept, you know, from this presentation, and why did you choose that particular concept or quote? Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, what did you like about this presentation? And number 3, do you feel as though this presentation was useful to your life? If so, how was it useful? Or in other words, how will you apply information from this presentation to your life?